Hi guys, so on Sunday Liz Truss and our Chancellor were adamant that they would stick to their plan to remove the top rate of tax of 45p on the pound, and on Monday morning they were U-turning. Well, another plan is austerity, but sadly this will avoid a U-turn. Now, the Chancellor appeared on a number of outlets on Monday morning where he suggested that he would not be going down the road of austerity, but the reality is quite the opposite. First he appeared on LBC with Nick Ferrari and then on the BBC Today programme with Nick Robinson. Have a listen.
Are we likely to be looking at more austerity measures?
I don't think so at all. I think what we're trying to focus on is growing the pie, growing the economy. Because without growth, we won't get good public services. Without growth, we won't have higher standards of living. Without growth, we won't have enough funding for the NHS. So that's the focus of my chancellorship. That's what the Prime Minister's focused on. And I think if we can grow this economy, we can have a much more successful society. Saying to you now is that we've had our growth plan, we're going to have our medium-term fiscal plan, and we will have a budget.
Well, we've got a growth plan, but we haven't got a how on earth you'll pay for it plan.
Yeah, you've made that point. And I'm saying that...
It's not a small point to a Chancellor, Secretary, if you'll forgive me, so let me ask you about it. Will it mean spending cuts? Will there be a new era of austerity?
So, as I've said, you'll see what our spending plans are in the medium-term fiscal plan.
I understand.
And I'm not going to be drawn. I'm not going to be drawn into that. I'm not going to be drawn into that.
Not wanting you to be drawn, but there are 51 days to wait, and what we discovered is it can take 5 hours for the markets to react. The markets are listening to what you're saying, and they're listening now. Will you curb spending, or will you drop your tax plans in order to make the sums add up, which they currently don't?
So all I've said about spending so far, and there'll be more details in the medium-term fiscal plan, is that we're sticking to the comprehensive spending review of 2021, and we're very committed to that. And that's all I'm prepared to say about spending.
But austerity is coming. Now, the Institute for Fiscal Studies, the IFS, has warned an extra £18 billion is needed in each of the next 2 years to restore public finances to their current state, because inflation is around 10% at the moment. But as you heard here, the Chancellor wants to stick to the CSR, the Comprehensive Spending Review from 2021. This means that the government won't take the current rate of inflation into account, which means, in real terms, a public services cut of £18 billion. During a recession, a government should spend more in order to stimulate the economy, not cut back. We have seen the folly of this over 10 years ago. Now, right-wing governments will try to sell this as fiscal responsibility or make comparisons with household budgets, which is rubbish. Households can't borrow like governments can, and they can't print money like the state. A cut in public finances will mean job losses and higher unemployment. This will mean more money going to interest repayments and less to public services. And the Chancellor seems willing not just to cut current public expenditure, but also capital investment, which is the polar opposite of levelling up. Now, nobody voted for this. Back in 2019, the last election, Boris Johnson's government promised, as part of the Getting Brexit Done part, to invest more in public services, to create jobs and to invest in new infrastructure. Liz Truss and Kwasi Kwarteng's plan will do the opposite. If they truly believe in this and that the public will support it, then they should put it to the people in the form of a general election. But of course they will avoid that by all means necessary. These cuts will mean a new age of austerity is on the horizon, the exact opposite of what the economy needs right now. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.